Good afternoon, Ravens fans, and welcome to another season preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us for our women's basketball season previews, Head Coach John Jin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Aaron.
All right. So first, to kick things off, what are your goals slash expectations for this season?
I mean, honestly, we have a lot of freshmen. We are a very young group, so we're just trying to really come together in the early part of the season and really just try to form some lifelong bonds. I think that'll help us as we go throughout the season to play our best basketball. So that's what we're trying to do now. We got picked fifth in the conference, which I think is pretty fair, maybe a little high for us. But that's our expectation. We want to make the tournament. We want to make a run like we did last year. There's a lot of excitement around here about women's basketball. We're going to try to keep that momentum rolling. That's our goal.
Okay, and then going through, there's certain programs have distinct identities, and then you guys have your catch your whiff that's tied to the program. What does that mean? And how does that represent into your program?
Yeah, Catch Our Whiff is our three pillars of our program. So it's work hard, integrity, and faith. And that is what we focus on day in and day out. We want to be the hardest working team on the floor each and every night. We want to be ladies of integrity, just high character kids, and then faith. I mean, we put Jesus at the center of our program, and we let him kind of guide and dictate what we do each and every day. And so that's kind of the three pillars, and we try to stay focused on them and really, bond our team around it.
Okay, so going back to last year. Last year's sixth place finish in the regular season. We had the run where we beat Hanover for the first time in 12 years in the opening round, beat Bluffton to advance to the conference championship game. Looking at to our core that we do have back last year, a couple of seniors that were lost. Peyton Moore, defensive player of the year, and then obviously Cassie Pallett brought something. But when you're returning your conference MVP Lexi Dellinger, that helps into some things, and you've got some returners that also have quite a bit of a minutes who can help make an impact. Tell us about your returners for this year.
Yeah, we got a great group. We have 5 returners this year, obviously headlined by Lexi Dillinger, who is a great player, and the impact she makes in practice every day, helping our freshmen grow is phenomenal. And then obviously we have Jade Shipley, who's our senior. She's going to be our captain this year. She has grown leaps and bounds in her leadership, and it's been really great to see her kind of transform from last year to the role she has taken on this year. And then obviously we have Mac, who's the big time. She's been injured in the preseason, but she's going to play a big role for us and control the paint, trying to fill some of those minutes that Peyton Moore took, and then be obviously is hopefully going to fill some of the role that Cassie took on. Obviously Cassie did a lot for us in the fact that she could dribble, penetrate, always found the right play. And so we're trying to hopefully B can do the same thing and kind of do that. And then obviously Brooklyn is our last one, and she's finally healthy for the first time in 2 years. So it's been great having her back on the court. The energy she brings each and every day to practice, and just the way she can command the defense with her voice has been really helpful so far.
All right, and then you talk about your freshman class. That's obviously going to be a big piece of your roster when you bring in 13 freshmen. A lot of opportunity to bring in, a lot of opportunity to have impact and play to have some more options in terms of what you do offensively and defensively. Tell us about your freshmen and what you expect out of them for this year.
Yeah, I mean, I love our freshman class. Obviously, they're a really special group, and when you bring in 13 of them, you're a little crazy. It is a lot, but they're really gelling together really well. And I think we have seen some natural leaders kind of rise to the top in that group. But obviously, they're the bulk of our team. I mean, right, 2/3 of our team, so they're going to see a lot of action. And there's a lot of good ones. And it's just going to be figuring out who is on that night, I think, especially as we get going, because, freshmen will have ups and downs all year. But the good news is we are deep. I think that's the one big thing that we have over last year's team, is that we are a lot deeper this year in our talent. So we can go really 15 deep without us really hurting at any kind of position. So we are ready to go. I think it'll help us in the style of offense that we want to play. We're spreading it out. We got a lot of shooters, a lot of kids who can get to the rim, create their own shots. So it's going to be an exciting brand of basketball. I'm excited to get after it.
And then to follow up on that, what has with your freshmen? What are some things that you think you could do a little on, like, in terms of defense? How is that going to look a little bit different than last year?
We're going to hopefully turn the heat up. That's the goal. We want to play up-tempo, and last year I thought we only played up-tempo on offense. When you're asking Lexi Dillinger, Jay Payton to play 35-plus minutes, it's hard to ask them to play fast on both sides of the ball. But this year, hopefully we're able to take down some of those minute leaders in our league and really play Lexi 30-ish minutes. Like, I don't really want any of our kids playing more than 30. We're going to really try to press. We're going to mix it up, do a lot of different presses, and really just try to speed up teams. Our goal is to really just try to create chaos for 40 minutes, and I think we're deep enough where we can really do that and just get kids in and out real quick. Not quite the system, but it'll be system-esque in the fact that we're going to rotate kids and play the kids who are hot and hopefully bring some intensity.
All right, and then so you guys open at the Mountaintop Classic this weekend. That's in Lookout Mountain, Georgia. So two parts of one going here. Obviously, you're playing at Covenant, which is where you're an assistant there for 2 years before coming here. Coach Douglas was an assistant for 2 years there before coming here. She was also a player there for 4 years. What is that going to be like in terms of returning to Covenant, and then to tie it in and then what do you expect as you go down there and take on Covenant College and Brevard College?
Yeah, I mean, two really good teams. I think first and foremost it's going to be a lot of fun. It's obviously a real big homecoming for Coach Morgan. I know a lot of her teammates are going to be in the house. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the kids that I recruited when I was at Covenant kind of blossom into juniors and seniors, and to see how well they've gotten. They put in a lot of hard work down there. I think I kind of know what they're about, and they're about the right things, and they're going to play really hard. It's going to be a great test for our kids, and it's going to be a really good bonding experience for our team to go all the way down to Chattanooga. And when you're spending 7 hours in a bus together, there's nothing that could go wrong, right? But besides bringing you closer, so we're excited about that. Staying overnight is always fun for our team, especially early in the year. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot of that kind of stuff. And then obviously the game will take care of itself. Two really good opponents. Covenant obviously super good defensively. They're gonna put pressure on us, that kind of stuff. And then Brevard got a win last night against Bob Jones, and they looked phenomenal. They forced, I believe, 26 turnovers. So that'll be a big struggle. And then, I think they had 22 offensive rebounds. So stuff like that is going to be hard. I know Covenant likes to hit the glass too. That's what I'm going to be gauging our team off of. How well can we keep them off the glass? Because in our league, you got to keep teams off the glass. That's going to be super important. And how well can we take care of the ball? With 13 freshmen, and a lot of them are getting minutes, it's going to be a chore to kind of keep them under control and making sure that we keep the ball in our hands. It's going to be an ongoing process throughout the year, but I'm excited to see it. I know our kids are excited to finally get after somebody else, because scrimmages can only do so much. We're ripped, roared, and ready to go.
All right, and then finally, what does your team need to do this year to be successful?
Yeah, I think if we just stick to our 3 pillars, right? If we're the hardest working team each and every night, our team wants to be known as the scrappiest team in the conference. That is our MO this year. And if we can do that each and every day in practice, we'll be ready to go, and that'll really help us be successful. We're trying to create chaos, and the scrappy team usually is able to do it, and so that's what we're going to try to do. And then obviously offensively, we're going to space the floor. We're going to shoot a lot of threes this year. We're going to be fun and exciting. We're just hoping that someone will go in. That'll really help us be successful if we can make a couple.
All right, well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with any more previews, any more content we may be putting out on YouTube. Of course, follow along with your women's basketball team this year. They are at Covenant They for this weekend they'll be playing Covenant on Friday, and be playing Brevard on Saturday. There will be coverage of that. Coach Jin, thank you for joining us, and good luck this year.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.